Sorry, I must not have seen you. I was reading the entire Infernal Devices. We have some stuff to unpack here. Alright, this is my review of Cassandra Clare's series, The Infernal Devices, the prequel to the Mortal Instruments, which are a little bit more well-known, but I gotta say, I think I may like these better. So, the series is in London, and it's in the past, specifically the late 1870s, and it goes on through there. And it has Jem Carstairs, Will Herondale, and Tessa Gray, and this love triangle, which even the boys kind of... Okay, we'll talk about that later. But it's a really great series and a really great addition to the Shadowhunters universe, and I think it's better than the Mortal Instruments. Start off with a couple things that I don't necessarily like, and also this video has spoilers, so what I don't exactly like is, I know it's the time period, but I'm really not a fan of the women sitting there doing nothing, blah 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 type of mindset that a lot of the older generations had, which I know that's what it was. It's just hard, it's kind of difficult to read and hear that because I'm used to the all-powerful female, like the badass female in the other two series, but this is a little bit of a letdown. There's Charlotte, who is an all-around super strong woman, super strong and really well respected. Like, I love her. But I love the battle scenes and everything like that with the women. That's what I really enjoy. And Tessa, she has a knowledge and powers of her own that are just beautiful and great, but she doesn't use them that often. I mean, I know it was very traumatic about how she was trained that way, but I feel like with this access to power she has, she doesn't use it that much. And I want to see more of this battle and craziness and everything happen like that, except for the very end, which was good, when she turned into ethereal. So I thought that was one of the great scenes that I was looking for. I just wanted more. So throughout the books, you have to decide if you like Will or Jem or Tessa the best. Because, I mean, it's a love triangle, and there's a lot going for each of them. Jem is the perfect man, he's the perfect kind person. You couldn't meet a nicer and more caring person, even if everyone is mean to him, and he's slowly dying, so that makes him not the best option. Now there's Will, who is this arrogant, I'm never gonna love again, Herondale, obviously, because it runs in their blood, and he is, amazingly attractive and seductive, and he has some problems that he hasn't figured out yet, which also makes him not the best candidate for Tessa. So who does she choose? Both! Kind of! And yes, that's what I want, because finally we get a ship that works out for both sides. Because you can't have just one, you have to have both Will and Jem. Bagel break. This does bring up one other critique, I think, of the book, is that it seems quite centered just around those three people. And a lot of the other characters, need a lot more love. And we get a lot more in the very last book, with, like, the marriages coming into play, with Cecily and Gideon and all of them, you know. And I just think that it really centers around Will, Jem, and Tessa a little bit too much. Just a little bit. Like, it doesn't need to change drastically, but just a little bit into the world, like, we see from Charlotte's eyes, Sophie's eyes, and Jessamine's eyes. I just want to see it a little bit more. And Magnus. I love him so much, and I love the part he plays in each and every book, and I think it's really funny the part that he plays in this book with Will, and I really enjoy that part of the book, and it's perfect because Magnus, this is his introduction to saving all the Shadowhunters now, because he is the boss. the glittery boss. So other than the female roles in the story, one other thing that I wanted to bring up was the epilogue in Clockwork Princess. I'm not sure if Cassie always knew that she was gonna start the Chain of Gold series, The Last Hours, with the kids, but I feel like having Will's death really closes off this section of the story, the Shadowhunters universe, and then reopening it with Chain of Gold, like the kids are alive, they're a happy family, just feels kind of weird. Also, that is a tear-jerker. I could not stop like, if you don't cry during the epilogue, you are a psychopath. Like, there's no denying that. And because Will, it jumped so far into, oh, they're finally, like, getting married, and then, boom, he's dead, and she gets to be with Jem, which, it just bothers me a little bit. Again, nothing that I'm saying is, like, huge, catastrophic things that I hate. It just bothers me a little bit, and now we're getting more of the in-between, which I'm glad about, and we're gonna get more with Jem and Tessa in the Wicked Powers, so I am waiting for that. I'm dying for that. And I don't know, I think that this was a better series than the Mortal Instruments because it was more concise and to the point. 3 books. I do love longer series, but we'll get into why I'm not the biggest fan of the Mortal Instruments a little bit later. The order that I think you should be reading these in is read the Infernal Devices first, then Chain of Gold, next read Ghosts of the Shadow Market, then jump into the Mortal Instruments, and anywhere between the Mortal Instruments books, you could probably, more towards the last 3, you could read the Red Scrolls of Magic, and then the Bane Chronicles, and finally, but not last, the Dark Artifices. That is a great series, and honestly, the Shadowhunter universe is very well developed, and I really love it. Like, if you hadn't noticed, I own all of the books that she's written, and I have a tattoo to commemorate them, so I really am a huge fan. But there's always things that you like and dislike about certain books. That's just how it goes. It's not like piece by piece. It's the overall thing that I love and adore, and I love Cassandra's writing, and I love the story that she's created, so go ahead and pick these up. I know that you'll enjoy them. It's some of the best young adult literature, fantasy, and magic you can get. So read them and tell me what you think, and tell me what else I should review. See ya!